It's recording. Okay.
And we're live.
We're live. Welcome back to the third episode of, I don't even know what's it called.
Guest
Part
list
of the guest list.
podcast.
The guest list podcast, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, here this episode we have Carlos Hirlemann
Nice to meet you.
from El Salvador. He flew all directly from El Salvador.
Just for this podcast.
He didn't even play here.
No,
Just
no,
for the podcast.
no, I'm just a tourist around here, trying to play.
Can you give us a little introduction, Carlos, about yourself?
So my name is Carlos Hirlemann. I go by the artist name Hirlemann. I'm a DJ from El Salvador, living in Canada, in East Coast Canada, New Brunswick. And I've been DJing now for almost 5 years. Been dipping my toes into music production at the moment, and
You already have a track out, right?
yeah, just one with Atticus, the friend, homie Atticus. Shout out Atticus. And right now working on a couple of tracks there. Still work in progress, but we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there.
That's why you actually came
Yes.
here to PI.
Yes.
We had a show last night, but like I told him to come and then we can just make music today.
Yes.
See what go to the studio and
Yeah.
what comes out. Maybe
Yeah.
we release a bundle.
Yeah.
Maybe we just very. I was looking for the right piece.
Yeah. Or the right snare.
But yeah, from Paris. Well, you live in Moncton, right?
Yes, Moncton, New Brunswick.
Saying like an hour, like 2 hours. I mean, right?
Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours from PI. Definitely East Coast vibes still,
In the middle of Halifax and
in Fredericton, and
PI.
yeah,
I think Moncton's the middle point.
yeah,
I'm not impressed that there's not a lot of stuff going on there. You know? Like it is, but like just at one place. Like
Yeah.
Thailand,
Titanbore. Normally, there's not many locations that I've seen that has been like, say, promoting much of like these type of shows, but there's still a couple like good spots around there that you can see some potential, and
Yeah.
hopefully they can like promote more gigs and maybe start getting more of that scene around in Moncton flowing.
But like
Wow.
I'm surprised that even though that like there's so many DJs, no one has taken the lead of it. Let's
I would say Maurice.
no like they're doing good, but like no one has taken the lead to start to expand
Yeah.
to other venues. You know.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know if it's hard. I don't know if it's like it's really close-minded.
From what I heard, I wouldn't. No, don't quote me on that one. From what I heard, it's some of the clubs are just looking for a different type of sound. Top 40s, like they're more,
Mainstream.
more mainstream stuff. Not really looking to be promoting underground music from what we're used to. So it's kind of hard to get yourself into that market or into those venues if it's just the sound that you're mixing. It's not really what they're looking for, right? So,
Yeah.
or they're more into like different genres of music, more like country and stuff like that, mainstream.
Like, I
So,
mean, it's around it.
yeah,
It would be nice, like Landers, like the bar that we want.
there's
Landers, like the-
Antlers. Yeah, Antlers.
Like that,
Yeah,
that vibe. It's like a really underground, speakeasy vibe that if you put like I went to Montreal to a bar that is called Hawks. I don't know if that's with H, but it's exactly like that. Just like a small room,
Yeah.
but full of smoke and like super like thin lighting,
yeah.
like orange and just like.
Well, the vibes were like very underground-ish. It's like play some deep tech there, in the deep house. Like,
I
let's be
actually
like,
the last time that I was there, like in Montreal,
Huh.
like I got into this place and then Big S was there.
because it's everywhere, bro. Shout out Sam too.
Hopefully we'll have him soon.
Yeah.
Maybe later today. I don't know. But yeah, let's just dive into your DJ stuff. Like, what's your creative process, or what's your inspiration as a DJ?
Well, as a DJ, I
Like, when you write
definitely, me being like a Latino and all that stuff, I definitely, Latin gang, Latin mafia here. No, I always felt like I try to, there's a lot of music, ethnic music, music that I grew up with that it's like, just brings me back home. And when it comes to like my mixing or like my sound, I try to like pick up music that has that like essence to it, like very tribal. I want to make you feel like you're in a jungle. Like as soon as you come into I want to feel like you're deep in nature. I'm taking you throughout the jungle, like have that Mayan blood in it, right? So it's like try to have that essence of like the Latin, the tribal, the very like minimal deep tech too, but like still mixing everything with that essence of the jungle. So
I find it really difficult. Like, I'm speaking for myself. That it's really hard for me to keep just in one type of sound.
Yeah.
Because music, it's really good. Right?
Yeah.
It's just like I like to blend like minimal
Yeah.
and then house but I like to keep it like kind of in the same
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Like house, tribal, house.
Yeah.
House.
Same. It's like just exploring different genres. So because I find it's like if I'm sticking to the same genre after a while, I might just get bored.
Mm-hmm.
And it might just sound too repetitive for me. So it's like I try to like say maybe I'm starting a little bit with like some lounge deep tech with that essence of like the percussions on it that are like more ethnic, and then I start maybe moving into more like a Latin house or what I call tribal tech. It starts being a little bit more faster, building up the energy. Once I'm like peak time, I might be like going more into my minimal Latin tech songs that like higher BPMs, but still maintaining that like tribal Latin essence to it with the perks. Very percussion based, I would say. I really love drums, just hearing them. And then like by the end, I like sometimes finishing like with some more like Chus and Ceballos style, like stereo type of sound, or going a little Afro house, very underground. Give that like emotional aspect out. So it's like you take it on a roller coaster of emotions and different sounds too, but different genres too, that just out of nowhere it's like all blend together and create their own story type of thing. That's what I would say.
Like I think every time that you hear like Chus and Ceballos, especially like track, like with those two, I think like you can really feel the underground.
Oh yeah.
I like for some reason I know like they stopped making music together a long time ago, but like you feel like I don't know, whenever I hear a song from them, it brings me back to old times.
Yeah, like old school sound type of thing. It's cool because it's like it has that essence of house, but it's like a techno-ish house, or might be techno, but it has that essence of house to it.
Like
still, yeah. It's like it just works anytime, I find, and there's so many tracks that they release that are so good for different scenarios that I'm like, it's just I keep going back to it, even if I'm like trying to look for something else, I just always end up back into like a Stereo Productions track or a Chus and Ceballos track. It's very nice.
What's your creative process to curate
like a mix? Definitely a lot of digging. So I would say probably the first couple weeks before a show, I might start like prepping, just finding music, finding new tracks, anything that like I've been listening more recently, and from there I just kind of like I like to ask what time slot I'm playing just to know. It's like, okay, if I'm opening, I'm gonna go a little bit more like warm up, deep tech type of thing. If like I'm closing or more like on the energy headliner slot, then yes, I normally try to start more stronger, you could say. I have like different playlists made based on different genres, and then normally I might create like a new crate, not necessarily to go like, oh, this song after the other, but it's just start adding a bunch of tracks that have a similar vibe that I'm thinking for the show. Yeah. But at the same time, like there's been times that it's like, say I have a couple tracks within this playlist, I'm there, and then I'm just seeing that the vibe might be different from what I was expecting. So, and I know that I have my other playlist already made that I can just go explore and see, well, I can take it this way. We can go a different way. But normally I have kind of like an idea of where I want to take it, and have a bunch of tracks on it. Like say right now for the next show, like it's a 2-hour set, but I have a playlist with like 100 songs. I'm not going to play 100 songs, right? But it's like I have like extra just to options exactly to, okay, we can take it here, we can take it there. And if the track is not in the playlist, I can just go out of that playlist and go to a different one that I have and find the track that I was looking for.
Yeah. Like, and especially like you're playing from 3 to 5?
3 to 5, yeah.
So that's
first like, closing set, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
Are you planning to take it night before?
Definitely. Well, maybe like we'll see. Like we'll
do it. Like I will just go home, like go out,
yeah,
to Toronto, and then go to the hotel, sleep for
Take a nap, like an hour nap, hour and a
yeah,
half,
it's
maybe.
sleep from I don't know. This is what I would do. Sleep from 10 to 1 or
And
10 to 12, and then to
yeah, because I was planning on probably getting to the club around like 11:30ish, 12. Probably around like 9ish, 10ish, and get like a good nap. Because throughout the day, I'm very likely just gonna be out and about, being a
yeah,
tourist,
yeah,
and pulling out the
exactly. Yeah,
camera.
especially if you're on, it's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a hotel already?
Yeah, it's right downtown, so it
Do you
works
know
perfect.
where?
It's Hilton, no, Hampton Inn, Hampton Garden Inn or something like that. It's
Oh,
right downtown, so it's like 10 minutes walking from the CN Tower. It's like everything is closed. The club is like,
like Queen Street or something like
yeah,
that. Oh yeah, you're gonna have it.
yeah,
Everything.
everything closed. It's pretty much walking distance from the club. So I was like,
Oh
well,
really?
yeah, it's 10 minutes walking. So
Oh, I didn't know. Like, oh, that's good. That's
because
good.
I
I didn't
think
know
wiggle room is in
Wiggle Room.
Dundas. Again, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but I think it's on Dundas, and it's. Well, I was checking the map, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's very close to all the club and
Oh,
all
everything.
downtown. So I
Oh,
was like,
good.
okay,
That's gonna
perfect.
be fun. Yeah, because like we're staying downtown too, so
Yeah,
it's just gonna be close to everything.
yeah.
That's
Save up
good.
money on Uber and all that stuff. I'll just walk
Yeah,
easier.
just so expensive over there.
Yeah.
Um, so far, what has been your favorite gig? Like top three.
Top three. Oh, that's a good one. Uh, Most memorable for me, or like, well, the first one I would say, the one that like kind of put my name out there and gave me the biggest push, was probably Future Forest, for sure. After that show, I definitely like started making more of my name out here in the East Coast. I met a lot of good people in that festival, and that are still to this day like friends of mine, and we support each other. It was a nice experience. So I would put that maybe number two. Favorite one for sure was back home in El Salvador. Yeah, like
The volcano.
yeah. Well, the volcano was one of them, but I think the most memorable one was like the one at the beach. So it was this crew, friends and family. Shout out friends and family, Dean. They started organizing these events back home, bringing artists from outside too. Emmanuel Satie, Shondoran. And they got me playing for the sunset set at the beach, and just being able to like play back home right by the beach. It's yeah, all my friends coming in to support, and family members too. Just being there, like it's a nice vibe. I definitely made a nice like set for the sunset, so it's like started very like tropically, very like nice, and as soon as it started, like the sun coming down, we started going a little bit darker, more harder, and it's like, so overall I had just a good time, a good crowd, good location, good place. I was treated well, so that one I would say definitely top one for me, most memorable. And the third one I would say it's a tough one to pick, but like it would be another one back home. This one, it wasn't even a big event, but it was just the first show that my mom saw me play. So that I would say like meant a lot for me, because it was like just all the time that I've been putting in the work here in Canada, and like friends from here seeing it, but nobody over there. And then like my mom actually being able to see me play for the first time, I was like, yeah, it's like, it felt like, oh man, made me proud. I don't know. It was nice to see her like
Yeah.
enjoying myself and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's very cool.
yeah. A friend of mine told me that she pretty much told him that it's like she could tell that I was happy doing what I was doing, and that like I found my thing.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that like reassurance of like, this is what I want to be doing, this is what I like, this is what I love. And
Yeah, this is what we really like to,
Yeah, yeah.
sharing moments.
yeah, creating those
That's music.
memories. Yeah, yeah.
Music.
Music.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm talking about before, like, how will you describe the team here in the mountains, like, for you?
For me, it's been a journey, to say the least. It's like it's definitely lots of learning, lots of different genres that I've discovered ever since I've been here. Because back home is definitely more like house, minimal, techie, techno type of thing. But like when I got here, I started hearing more of like what they call wubs, like wub, like dubstep or I guess, rhythm or trap, like so many different genres that it's more bass heavy, which I never heard before, which I was like very like surprised about, like kind of scared me in a way, to say the least. It was like, oh, okay, what is this? But definitely, like that was probably like what surprised me the most, because I just thought in general, like everywhere, like of course you find house and techno everywhere, but it's like it's not as big as I thought it was gonna be around, at least here. It seems to be more leaning on the wubs and that like more bass heavy sounds. So I did find it maybe a little bit hard to not necessarily stand out, but like find gigs where my sound made sense, type of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like going from very hard bass heavy to then we're playing like more like house techno. It's like it was kind of hard to, like, you could say, blend in or jump in. So it's like definitely lots to learn from those experiences. And I think, well, I'm still learning, I would say, just finding like my crew, my crowd, and like still like curating my sound and just making it work, I would say. So yeah.
But how do you find like meeting people? And I think here in the Maritimes, like you need, I don't know, probably it's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you need to find your crew and then start creating your own events.
Yeah.
Like, I think like
Yeah.
the scene, like people that is from here, like they're friendly and everything, but it's really hard to get into their group. Like it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Most of them, like, I find like they have already kind of like their crew based on like the type of sounds that they bring, of course. So it's like, I would say like definitely right now we've been more focused on creating those shows ourselves. Like I definitely would say like we've kind of like made our group with, like, say, with you, Diego, Adam, and Will throwing the Resonance shows, Macam throwing the Labyrinth shows too. So it's like I feel like definitely right now, like almost like I could say I found like the crew that's been like promoting more of like our type of sound. But I also still like the fact that there's like people like Maurice that like do those shows where it's like just a showcase of different styles and different genres, you know, so then everybody can like get a little bit of everything and just test out what sounds there's coming from new upcoming artists and stuff.
For people like to start like discovering new genres, you know.
Yeah.
Like you play so many different different artists that play different genres. Like okay, like you can identify like if you're new to the scene, you can be like, oh, I like this.
Yeah. Well, it's same thing. It's like, say you go to those shows where it's like, okay, this guy's playing like trap, and then the next guy's playing like drum and bass, and then this guy's playing house, and you're more like a house DJ. Well, now you know who plays house, and you can just be like, hey, dude, want to like, I know if I'm organizing a show, it's like, well, and I'm trying to make a house show, I know who's playing house type of thing, or if I. And that's the thing. It's like those little crews at the end up keep on organizing those events. Where it's like you have the drum and bass events, you have like the trap events, you have the house techno events. So it's cool. At the end, you get to meet from all the different from everywhere, all the different genres and stuff. And like
funny, like last weekend that I was
in Moncton,
it was so funny just to see like One Big Bang.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah, Cody.
Sorry, bro.
Shout out Cody.
One Big Bang everywhere. I call him One Big Banger.
One Big Banger, yeah. He got a couple bangers too.
Yeah. But I like seeing him and like all the other crew that plays like D&B, bass, you know, that stuff. It's just
and it's cool to see them because it's like, well, you know that they listen to very like strong genre, right? And you see them at a progressive show, like with the Ms. Butler show. It's like, it's cool. Yeah, it's like it's the support. It's support. It's like, okay, like you know that it's like, okay, even if you listen to a different genre, you still are able to have an open mind and listen and an open ear, you could say, to like listen to other genres. Even if you don't mix it, it's not necessarily means that you might not enjoy it, or you might not just be able to like have an open mind towards it. Same for me. It's like I'm not big on WOB, so I don't mix it or anything. I might be, but I still listen to it from time to time in the shows, and I'm just like, okay, there's something new to like listen to it. And it's something, it's something new that I'm like getting used to it. But yeah.
That's good, man. Do you have any current projects right now? Like
current projects, I would say yes. I have a couple of ideas that I'm like progressing for sure. I had one with this homie of mine that we were working on it from Toolroom Academy. His name is Saniero. Shout out to Saniero. we just like went back and forth. He sent me the file for me to keep on working on it. I still need to add like a lead and a vocal, and I just been slacking on it. But like right now I'm like no, like almost like pulling my hair, being like no, okay, sit down and just finish it. We wanted to start a track with like a new track with Atticus too, and see what comes out of that one. And we'll see tonight if what comes out of it too. Like we'll see what we can start.
What do you think is the most difficult thing for you?
Producing, bro.
No,
like,
but like in the production sense.
In the production sense,
Like you open it up, Ableton.
Yeah. I open Ableton. No, but I normally open the DAW. Before I used to like sit down and immediately try to like have an idea of what I was gonna create and stuff, but it's like that would end up badly. I would just end up spending so much time trying to have the perfect sound or trying to make it sound the most perfect as it can be, and then I would not progress at all. Overthinking, I would say, is the biggest thing for me. It's like I might just start like a brand new idea and seeing whatever happens, and then I have like a little like loop that I end up making into like almost like a build up to the drop. Yeah, like a phrase, and then once I have the phrase, it's just progressing that phrase into a full arranged track. That's what I would say. Melodies, I would say, is where I've been struggling more than anything. I don't know what I'm doing with Serum. I'm still learning. That's part of it. Is just trying new stuff, testing out stuff, and seeing. Right now, my main focus is just being not taking away the perfectionist side of me, because I would say that's probably was my biggest flaw, or it still is like my biggest flaw, just trying to make it sound as good as possible. Instead it's just like trying to just make it sound as good as it can be with what I have, and then as I progress I can start learning how to clean up those sounds and how to like.
That's one chip that I took out because I met a lot of people and I still meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
You know, but whenever you meet a new guy and they're like, yes, I produce, but like they try to be so perfectionist that they haven't put anything out because they're trying to find the right sound,
the right kick, the right snare.
I was kind of like that whenever I started producing. I was like, okay, like you learn more from making mistakes.
Yes.
So yeah. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna create this, put it out. Yeah. My next one's gonna be better, and then my next one is gonna be better, and then my next one is gonna be better. It's just like simple as that. Right?
Well, I definitely find like sound selection is definitely like the most important part about producing. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like just progressing the idea. Like you said, it's like, okay, maybe at the start, don't be too focused on if this sounds good. It's just as long as you have like the layered bass and you have like the main idea, the main groove set up there, and that you can progress. Then after you have like the main idea, I would say it's just start clearing. Maybe, okay, this clap sound doesn't sound as good as I thought it would be, and then you can start making those little subtle changes. Yeah. Because at the end, one thing that they told me, it's like half of the stuff that you do for that track, most people won't even notice.
I would say
but
98%.
98% won't even notice, but you're going to be there like thinking, man, I should have changed that clap, and nobody really cares. It's as long as the groove is good and like it's a good vibe or good sound, people will just...
And there's definitely like a lot of different steps, you know, because like, for example, like I took a class with Botello, he showed me how to use the DAW and how to arrange everything, how to make everything. So now that I have all that, like I'm taking classes with other guys, with Tapia.
Yeah.
And he's a really good Mexican producer, and he like the type of style that I really want, because I think house, all types of house are easy to make. What I'm trying to learn to make is like kind of like that Italo housey trance that I really like, and he already has songs with labels that
have like that type of sound.
Yeah. So like I was like, hey, well, can you give me like classes? Like,
yeah.
Sure.
Well, I also find like you can find a lot of YouTube videos on like, say there's an artist that you like, and they might have like a sound that it's very like to them, like I don't know, Chris Stussy with the leads type of thing, and then you just go on YouTube and it's like, how can I make this Chris Stussy style lead in Serum? And then you get some videos of like might not be exactly the same of it, but it's very similar to it, and you can like
answering all the questions, all the stupid questions that YouTube no one is gonna like. You know, like that's what I like about taking class one-on-one class.
Yes.
Because we just
Yeah.
like, okay, like why this?
Why this? Yeah, explain it a little bit better. Yeah.
And then all the experience that he has is like, okay, now I understand everything, and it's more like the sound design and cleaning the sound
Yeah.
of like how properly clear the frequencies. That's
Yeah.
the hardest part of like, okay, you need to make a space here so the other
So that
channel can breathe through there. It's like, okay, like,
so they don't like clash.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
so it's really interesting.
Well, it's definitely like producing. I find it's a beast of itself. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Of course, like as soon as I'm starting, I was like immediately in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna start releasing tracks like this, and it's like easier said than done, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's that's the part of the journey. It's just finding what you like, I would say. It's like, of course, getting inspiration, using reference tracks to like say copy like the arrangement or maybe like get ideas of like, oh, at this part they added this thing. Doesn't mean that you have to do it the same, but like you can get general ideas of like, oh, I could add an element right now in this track of my track if it's feeling too empty. Yeah, too empty. So it's just I find it's just putting in the time, learning it, and it's just putting in the time.
I've never met anyone like like I don't know if I talked to this. I think Noah or someone last night that I feel like being a DJ and producer, being a DJ that produces is like being an MMA fighter. It's like
Yeah,
that's the way I see it, because to be an MMA fighter, you need to know
different skills.
and to be a good one,
Yeah.
you need to master all those skills, right? So if you really want to be a good DJ, you need to master like producing, marketing, social media, like DJ.
Like good artist in general, it's like, okay, like there's the aspect of DJing, which is already like learning how to transition between song selection, reading the crowd, everything. But then outside of the DJing
if
comes
you produce, you're gonna be stuck in like your local.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you go to like the national,
Yeah.
you have connections, but like you're never gonna break that.
It's harder to break an international scene, you could say, or a global scene, if you're not making your own music, because through your own music is a part of you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're just expressing yourself, and through that you create a fan base, you could say, people that resonate with your sound and like the story that you're trying to tell through your music. So then once you get that like fan base, that's where pretty much they will take you to, they will want to go and see you wherever you're going to play and stuff. You're releasing music that is your emotions, it's your like story, and then like and people are resonating with it, or other artists are also like playing it and enjoying it. It's like that's the dream, that's the goal. That's where we want to get there.
Together, you need to do the reps,
Yeah.
And like the way that I like going back to the gym MMA or whatever, like I never like I've been training that like MMA for like 6 years now.
Yeah.
I never met a guy like that show up to the gym 6 months straight and didn't get better, bro. It's impossible.
Oh
to
yeah,
show
it's
up.
like,
Even like if you try to fake it to be bad, like you can, because like you're getting good if you're putting the time.
yeah, you're putting in the time, because it's the reps. It's like it's the consistency. Even like just it's the 1% rule, I guess. That you're just getting better.
It's impossible to show up and don't get better, bro. Like,
Exactly.
Like you just need to open the computer 1 hour every day. That's what I do, bro. Like every day after work. Not every day, but like I would say during the week, three times during the week, Monday to Thursday. That's my way to my work week. Monday to Thursday, I open the computer 3 times.
Yeah.
During, like just after work, I come, I have class with these guys, and then during the weekends I work more during the day or like during the night.
See, normally for me it's in the mornings. I would say it's like I wake up, I take a shower, get my stuff ready, start my breakfast. And then after that, it's like, okay, open the computer and just sit down and start working either on producing or like finding new tracks, or I might just like hop into mixing. I'm trying to break it down more into days, but I still want to like at least have minimum of 30 minutes to an hour of just actually opening Ableton and just doing something within the DAW, so I can get more used to it, and at the same time I can just keep on progressing those ideas type of thing. And going back to like what you were talking about, the being an artist as an MMA skill, is like there's also outside of like producing and DJing, you also have like social media. You also have like the networking side of it. It's just like if you're planning gigs, it's just organizing all those gigs. It's just it's so many different, yeah. And on top of that, you also are trying to take care of yourself, like probably trying to be yeah, have a social life. If you're trying to have a girl, yeah, it's like you're trying to balance all these stuff at the same time. It's like,
how you do it? I don't know how I do it. Like, I think my social life. I think that I'm blessed that like my social life. It's also my.
It's the part, yeah, same.
Cause like I work, like I work with at work.
Yeah.
And then my girlfriend, shout out to her because like she's really.
Shout out Jenny.
She really understands like what I like to do.
Yeah.
You know, and she doesn't like she's not.
She gives you like your time where you're just like in the zone type of thing. Yeah.
Because like I come home and I eat like with her and then like I do like just computer.
Yeah.
It's like
well, it's work. It's like that's another thing I would say. Also, like going back to that thought, it's like of a flaw of mine. It's like as much as it's work, I also try to like change that chip of like. Well, you're just trying to have fun. At the end, it is work, but it's like I'm trying not to see it as work. I'm just trying like just have fun with it and see what comes out of it. Because that was also the chip that I had where it's like, oh, it's work. And I'm like, oh, I gotta do it because it work. But I don't want to do it. It's work, you know. But that's my own overthinking. I was like, as soon as I think it's they I don't know what's the 2-minute rule or something like that they say that it's like you have this thought of something that you want to do, immediately just start doing it. Say like minimum of 2 minutes. You're not gonna end up doing it 2 minutes. As soon as you're in it, you're just gonna get lost with it, and that's the rule that I've been trying to also follow with.
It's like going to a gym where like sometimes you really don't want to go, and I hate going sometimes, but like you just drive there, and once that you're there, it's like okay.
And you finish it, and you're like, thank God I did it. It's like it was nice that I did it. So yeah.
But yeah, like especially like during like I don't know, going back to producing and DJing and stuff. Like once that you master all that, like it's not that it's gonna be overnight that you're gonna.
No, but it's like, easier. You find like the structure,
years, but like that's why you don't have to rush it. You take your time. Yeah. And this brings to like the next question. Like, what would you say or ask to your younger self, like before starting, or like someone that just wants to start DJing?
Yeah.
Because like I get a lot of people that come to me like after the shows.
Like piece of advice.
And you're like, hey, I want to start DJing. Like, what would be your advice? And like I tell them, like, what would you tell them? Like,
explore your own like sound. Like I do find that it's like it's good to have inspirations. Like it's good to have like thoughts of like the type of sound that you like, and like it's very common that at the start you're trying to sound like it's a certain DJ. Like when I started, I would say it's like. Juice and Ceballos was very big on it, like the Clooney sound, the Sosa, like it kind of music too. Like when I started, I started playing more Afro house, and kind of music was a big like inspiration. But then after a while, I was like, okay, I could tell that I was trying to be something that is not me. Like so, I was like, well, I'm trying to find myself.
Yeah, it feels weird, right?
Yeah,
because like whenever I first got my DJ 400, like I didn't have any idea like how
what music to play. Yeah.
So I was getting to YouTube, and then I was like literally searching like the circle videos.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then just in the comments they have all
the track IDs, yeah.
So I was getting all the track IDs, and then just doing the same thing, like kind of like mixing the same. First, like it worked a little bit because like it was like okay, now I'm kind of like. Mixing the same way, like trying to make the same way, like you don't notice the transition, blah blah. That's the way it helped. But like the way that it felt really weird, it was that it's not my music. It's not like the music that
it's not because that's what happened to me too. It's like at the very start, I was just like, as soon as I got my decks and everything, I'm like, so now what? And they're like, yeah, like my uncle that like he kind of like he's been in the scene back home and all that stuff. He kind of was, I would say, kind of like my guide. He was the one that told me, well, like now you just start playing the music that you like, because it was like I'm not gonna send you my playlist. It's like my music is the music that I resonate with. You gotta find what resonates with you, and as you keep on listening to more music, as you keep on testing new sounds that you mix in, then you start finding what resonates more with you, and then you just curate your own sound, your own like niche type of thing that helps you stand out. Because again, if you're just trying to be or recreate the same sound as another artist, well, he's already is doing that. You know, like you can't be exactly the same or be playing exactly the same thing because well, there's already doing that
exactly.
original.
There's already one person.
Yeah.
And that's like the way, like, for example, in those podcasts say that I rarely listen to music at work and stuff because I whenever I don't have a gig coming, I like to make that space between, okay, I don't have to listen to new music because, you know, like, especially whenever, like, you have so many gigs, you're always, like, you need, like, getting music.
You don't want to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, like, I take a break of, like, listening to music, but, like, then whenever I go back to listening to music, I'm discovering new songs. It's like, okay, like, I save them. And then once that I have, like, 100 songs that I like, and now I go to Beatport.
And buy them,
No, and then I start listening to them to Beatport to see if they're worth buying.
Yeah, I
and
see.
It's like, okay, so from that 100 songs, I'll buy 40. So, but those 40 are like they're really good ones that I really like. So it's just like that's how
I would say I make my Spotify playlist. Well, I start like I search Spotify, Beatport. I would say is where I normally dig. SoundCloud too. Although I've been like no hate on SoundCloud or anything. I don't know why. I just haven't been as much as in SoundCloud as I used to.
I think they changed the. Now that I find that they changed kind of like the arrangement of like their feed. It looks so different than before. Now it's really hard for me. It's really hard to find like what I.
Yeah, or that's what I find. It's been hard for me to find like more tracks that I've been resonating with in SoundCloud. But although I found some good bootlegs and everything there, but
I put them like I look for like a label that I like, put like their songs, and then just start a radio, and then it shows.
And then so well, I do the same with Spotify. It's like I go to radio, so based on a track, and then like. I have a huge playlist. It's not even organized. It's just like right now I think I have 2,000 songs on just one playlist. And it's just as I go, I keep on adding based on like a sound that I'm finding. And then I keep on listening to those tracks throughout the week. And it's like whichever track that I'm going back to it. I'm still like, man, I really like this song, or I'm just feeling it. I end up like adding it to my Beatport, and then I ended up in my USB and stuff. And then it's organizing my USBs to see where I can fit that song within my mixes. It's weird because it's almost like every time I find tracks, I find them. It's like I'm finding puzzle pieces for different spots in my set where I'm like, oh man, this will go well with all like my the songs that are more emotional within my set, or this one is better for like when I'm like peak time, like okay, full on energy. Okay, it goes into this playlist and. Then I have all those playlists organized, and I just go through them. Yeah, it's nice to find those extra pieces to make the full image, right?
Now you got it, guys.
That's how you DJ. That's how you prep everything.
Prep or like a good start point, I guess. You organize too, bro. Cause like this happened to me like a few weeks ago, like a month ago. Like this computer I only use it for producing and editing videos, but like I have my DJ computer, and I didn't update that computer for like 10 years, something like that.
Oh my!
But I only use it for Recordbox.
Yeah.
But like then Recordbox sent me like message like, hey, and I had like Recordbox for
like old.
Yeah, and then I was like, they said like it's gonna stop working. You have to update it, blah blah. So I was updating it, like updating the software of my computer, so I was able to update the Recordbox because that's how it works, I guess. And then I needed space. I ended up making space, but by accident I deleted like a lot of like folders.
The folders, oh no.
Folders.
Yeah.
So I lost, I would say, pretty much all my music, and I have half of my music in
a hard drive.
In a hard drive.
Yeah.
And then I have the other half on my Beatport account.
Yeah.
But I just being so lazy because it's like 3,000 songs, I guess.
Yeah.
And everyone was like really well organized.
Yeah.
Like house, and then I have another slow house or a fast house, or like like, I had like so many different folders where like it was perfect organized.
And then you were like, I don't want to do that all over again.
But I have to do it again. But I keep procrastinating that because like there's so many things I have to do, like editing the videos, producing.
Yeah. I would say like for me recently, like I lost like, in my computer actually like I had to do like a factory reset, so I had lost a lot of like projects from Ableton that I was starting. I lost a good couple of tracks there, and what I had to do is I also restarted kind of like my playlists. Like I went through my record box and I was just like, okay, no, you know what? The playlists that I have are not working. I just cleared all of it, started making new ones based on like the different genres and different like energies and stuff like that. And I started like again going through all my music in my USB, taking out any songs that I was like, this just doesn't resonate with like the sound that I'm curating right now, and leaving the what does and adding more that still does, right? So it's like I feel like that's been another key point. It's like where it goes back to being organized. So it's just going back to your USBs, taking out songs that you might not resonate, because at the end it's like when you're DJing and you just got this song recently and you might not know it well, then you start testing it in a couple times, and after a while it's like, yeah, it works, but it doesn't, like, you don't feel it, the energy. I just take it away from my playlist, because if I'm not feeling it, well, I'm not going to feel it also in the dance floor, and people are also going to tell that I'm not feeling it. So it's just, it takes you out of your like flow state, you know, yeah. Whereas like if you're playing music that you really know and you like and you just vibe more, you just get more in the zone, and you know where like, okay, I know where the energy is different, you know, it's you feel it.
Yeah, it definitely feels different whenever you understand where the flow is.
Yeah, exactly.
Any funny stories that you have with DJing that popped up to your mind? Like, I don't know if you heard Dolly's.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Sorry, a podcast where like you had like a really funny story.
Any funny stories that come up to mind like that? It's like not.
Like you're DJing and like someone approaches you to ask something.
Well, like I remember like the Electric Campout Festival. I don't know why this just cracked me up. I was just DJing, and there was this guy with like, I don't know if you see Sacha Baron Cohen, like I don't know if it's Borat or like where he's wearing like this like almost like green long thong type of thing. So there's a guy wearing that, and I was not expecting. I was just like, look up, and yeah, green. Yeah, the guy. Yeah, so he was just like, I can't remember, but he was like, I was just mixing in the zone, and then I look up and I just see this guy's ass cheeks just dancing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like,
he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He's dating one of the girls.
Oh, we're too hot, man. No, did it die? Yeah. Well, that's my funny story. For you guys that don't know, the camera just died on us, so this is just audio now. And yeah.
This is just audio, I guess. But, that's it, pretty much.
Yeah.
We went to the end of
the podcast.
podcast.
Well, thank you for having me in this podcast. I'm definitely glad to be part of Guest List again, and we'll see for more to come.
We're gonna continue.
Yeah, let's do it like that.
Well, the podcast, the GoPro died, too hot, I guess. So we're continuing with the iPhone. But yeah. That was pretty much it. Like his funny story was a guy dancing with like a thong.
Dance, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Like that's the thing. When you put me in the corner, I can't really think of it. But I guess like when I'm in those parties, it's just things just keep on happening. That it's like, I don't know. It might be funny for you, but for other people, might not. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, that one did crack me up. I don't know why I just thought about that. But yeah, good funny story.
Yeah, that's it. Anything else you want to say
to people, stay tuned. Thank you for everybody that's been supporting. Thank you again, Guest List, for having me here.
Okay.
And yeah, keep grooving.
Keep on grooving.
Keep on grooving.
That's everything, right?
House music. House music. Like and subscribe.
Or you done it. Bye.
Bye.